Kind of did a crappy job recording that last video. I was feeling really bad, and I decided that I was gonna stop recording because I was just in a bad mood, and my voice is getting messed up, so sorry about that. Anyway, I'm moving on to a different project. Got this old disc here, but I'm going to use it to get out of the wind. I'm going to use this disc to cut up some soil up by where I want to put my beehives next year, and I'm just gonna make a little path and maybe a little place for wildflowers, maybe some fruit trees and stuff. I was up there yesterday. It looks like some of the fruit trees are doing all right. They're hanging on, but the 3 different types are types that need pollinators, and they need a partner tree, and of course their partner tree for each one died. But I figure as long as I can get some new ones in here in a year or so, then maybe it'll still produce fruit. It's never been inside, it's just sat out years, so all these hydraulic lines are really bad. Last time I used it, I think it was last year. I think it was on that side over there, or maybe it was this one. I don't know, that looks kind of suspect right there, that white mark in there. One of these blew a leak when I tried to pull one of the wings up, or put it down, I don't remember which, but it just shot hydraulic fluid about 30 feet in the air. So I'm going to take this apart and drain it, and we're going to get some new hoses on this thing. Other than being old and ugly and having some scrapes and stuff, it's completely functional if you just take care of it. Okay, wait a minute. Future Christoph here. So when I edited this, I was feeling terrible and I was really sick. And so you're going to have to excuse this. I don't know how I missed this, but if I take it all out, then there's no video. So somehow I managed to get the little plastic cap that's on the end of your hoodie drawstrings stuck on a little piece of my beard for the next like 5 minutes of this video. So if you can just pretend that doesn't happen. I look like a complete idiot, and how I didn't notice it, I have no idea. Okay, back to the video. Looks like we might need a tire too. Today's kind of a weird day. The weather is terrible. And it's going to be a little bit of a running around day. We're trying to order parts for the planter and trying to figure out what parts are what. Some of them aren't really well marked, and sometimes you just don't know what to call a part. It's that black doohickey that holds up the thing. There's a lot of that. One of the parts we've been trying to look up here, we didn't really know what to call. I guess it's really just called a stop for the gauge wheels, but it's this thing right here. Comes up to this. You slide this around in different spots, and it adjusts that down there, which when the wheels come up, they bang against that to make sure that's as low as it goes into the ground. But these are all worn off. I've got one on the bench over here. They've all worn off and they're flat. So they're all a little bit different depth. Sorry about the lighting here. You're probably used to that in the shop. Here's the part. And you take it out and the wheels bang up against this, so you can tell how worn it is. About a 1/4 inch off of each side. And it's just time to replace them. But one place I found them, they were $17 a piece, which is not bad, but more money. I wish I had a coffee pot for my coffee pot holder that I put on there. It'd actually start up a pot. I'm gonna warm up here a little bit before I go back out and take that hose off because my fingers are numb. Anyway, these are those arms that I took off. They slide on, the wheel goes on here. But we're looking at a system, rather than having all those little spacers that I was washing off, instead of having all those, there's one where you have a screw in here and you can adjust it, and it pulls this in and out on the shaft. Does that look dirty? Anyway, it pulls this in and out so it adjusts without flopping around. You can tighten it manually without taking everything off and putting one more shim in and put it back on. The kits we were looking at buying for it, I think, if they're the right ones, we're still trying to determine if they're the ones we need, are about $63 a piece times 12, and that's math. So some of the parts we're looking at getting here ordered from the catalog are the end pieces to that cable that I broke. I've talked about it a bunch of times. And then the little pin kit. You have to get all these little pins individually. They're $1 a piece for these little things. And you pinch them into the holes, and then there's a tool to extract them that you have to buy. It's like $30 if you broke one off, and you have to get that because they're kind of a one-way barbed deal. So we have to get the male end and the female end, and then all the pins, and to put the pins in there, and all that. And it's look like, what was it, $48 for each connector. The pins, they come in boxes of 50, male pins and female pins apparently. So you got $47 for a box of 50. Well, we need 2 boxes. And then there's this goofy plastic ring. It looks like a large version of that little ring that comes off a bottle of soda when you take the cap off, that little thing. $7.25 for a plastic ring. And the removal tool, $34.75. Crimping tool. I don't know if you really need that. I think you have something. That's $68. Money adds up. Here's kind of an example of what I'm talking about. $7.25. It's ridiculous. This is not exactly what we're doing, but all these little pins, each one of them little pins is $1. Obviously, this is not functional. So this and the other end, so we're getting this, the female pin pieces in there, and the male pins will look like these, but on the other deal. This little section right here that I broke is $50, and the other end is $50. Woo! All right, let's see if we can get this this one really tight bolt off. I really kind of want to get this done today. I think we're gonna get rain tomorrow. There's a skunk over here somewhere. Anyway, we're gonna get rain tomorrow, and since the hydraulics are not working on it, the disc is stuck in the ground right now. As you can see, we made a path from where it was before, because you can't get out of the ground, which is no real big deal because this is just kind of not very good ground. I think this year it's going to become a staging area. I don't think we're even going to plant it, Gary said. But I would like to get this done, because once this gets wet over here, if it does tomorrow, it will be a muddy mess. Oh, there it goes. To whoever developed WD-40, thank you. All the other brackets for this thing are like that, where they just hold down the 2 hoses. But this one, for some reason, is single. They just went with this little wraparound deal. You're gonna make me use a wrench the whole way. Ooh, that's dry. Hear that? Ooh. That's a good sound. Hey, Christoph, do you think you could get a bigger wrench? Man, that skunk smell is really strong. Is there even anything in it? I think I pushed the wrong button on the camera. Anyway, got that hose off. Just kind of laid it on this pile of crap here. And we're just kind of waiting for it to drain anything that might be in there. We honestly should probably replace all those hoses on there, but I think right now we're just gonna do the one that is suspect. I think I took off the right one. Back to the stove. Maybe I'll just take them all off and we'll replace them all. I don't know, we really don't use that much, but maybe we'd use it more if it wasn't a pain in the butt to hook up every time, because there was always something wrong with it. A neighbor came up the other day and said that our soil temperature is only at 41 degrees. So it's gonna be a minute. We're gonna be late this year getting in the way things are going right now. It seems like we've been in this weather pattern for months on end. We'll get one day where it'll be like 80 degrees, and then it'll go down to 25 at night and 45 during the day for months on end, which is not super cold, but definitely not warm either. It's kind of getting old. It'd be nice if we could. I think today's Tuesday. I think Wednesday, tomorrow we're getting rain, and then maybe Thursday, Friday, we should start getting up. I did see an 80 on the horizon for next week in the 10-day forecast. I don't know, I'm about done with this cold stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's not like Minnesota cold, like it's not warm. It's spring, stuff's supposed to be happening. I can even tell in my garden I've got daffodils that usually come up and die because it gets really quick because it gets hot right away. And they've been up for 2 weeks and they have had no problem. So it's definitely a cool start to the season.